Hey everyone, I want to hop on here and talk about this week's astrology, the astrology forecast for the week. If you follow my podcast, the Weekly Awakening podcast, you know I've been on vacation for 2 weeks and I wasn't going to do a podcast episode, but I said I was going to do a video. So here I am doing that video outside my sister's house, and I'm in the Gulf Coast of Mississippi. Please excuse my sweatiness. I've only been out here trying to do this video for like 5-6 minutes. I keep screwing it up halfway through, a few minutes through, and I'm like a sweaty mess already. So gotta love the South. I'm also being bit, but here we go, because we've got Mars opposite Saturn. So what does that mean when we have the two malefics up against each other, right? So they're opposite, they're ready to go at it right now. And we have Mars, the god of war, aggression, cutting, severing, up against Saturn, the planet of death, of karma, of restriction, of restraints. And they're like, hey, we're going through, but as always, let's talk about a little bit of the positive with that first. With that, you can have a lot of breakthroughs. You can have, Saturn tends to take its time with things. It tends to restrict things, hold things back. It tends to be, why is this taking forever? What do I need? With Mars coming through with that, it can be like, bang, it brings that, it severs, it brings that action that we need to move forward. It almost like, here's Saturn going along here, and then here's Mars coming through, and like, guess what? We're gonna move you. We're gonna bulldoze you, and we're gonna keep you moving. I can promise you that. It's gonna go boom, 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 boom. So that's some beautiful things. Where Saturn is right now, Saturn's in Aquarius, and Mars is in Leo. So look, you're really gonna want to know where the focus is. So Mars, for instance, is happening in my 12th house, the house of self-undoing, self-isolation, other things opposite. Saturn's in Aquarius right now. So first of all, look where those two houses are. What whole sign houses does Leo and Aquarius rule? Aquarius is in my house of work, of not necessarily the best house, sometimes bad things, but our work house or health house, things like that. So already I feel like what's coming is how I'm not taking care of myself because I'm choosing to work, which is what I do. I love working, Virgo rising, Virgo moon. So already what I'm seeing is conflicts with me kind of already choosing and where it's actually harming me from always choosing to work, be on, and create. So that's something that's happening. But also with that are hopefully some breakthroughs from the hard work. So we can expect that sort of stuff to happen. Breakthroughs, some hard endings are gonna come here. Some hard endings that you have not been able to do for yourself probably are going to happen right now, right? The Saturn is saying we got to bring some death, and Mars is saying we got to sever this. So there's going to be a lot of hard endings. We're going to see a lot of what is holding us back, right? Without Saturn is there, and it is part of what's holding us back. But with it, we get to see what is really holding back our energy. What is holding us back from just catapulting into what we belong. And what's holding us back can be people, places, or things. But oftentimes, it's what we're telling ourselves. It's our mind. It's what our mind is saying or doing, Also, this isn't a good time to try to come to resolution for a disagreement. You're probably not going to. You're probably going to find yourself fighting more or getting more into an aggressive battle in some sort of way. So again, avoid any conflict if you can. And a really big thing that's coming to me with this transit, my sister's Buddha, I'm proud of her. A really big thing that's coming to me this transit is a lot of karma is going to come up, a lot of family karma for us to purge it, to end it, to see it, to just heal it in sort of ways, and what I like to call karma kink. So we're going to feel a lot of that, and I feel like because Mars is in Leo, the sun sign, we're really going to be working on a lot of father karma, a lot of father pain, a lot of father trauma, a lot of father karma is going to come up. Now, when we say karma, right, flies, again, sorry, I'm in the South. It's not just the karma of, how do I word this? Like, you did something bad, right? So something is going to happen. Or, for every action equals an equal or greater reaction. There is that karma. But sometimes we're talking on the family karma, the things that the generational, good and bad and the ugly that we have in our DNA, that we have in our mind, we have in our subconscious, that sort of karma, and how we take on other people's karma, especially those that we choose to keep closest into our lives, almost, bipartisan, I don't know if that's the right word, but we take on their karma too, and we start to get into their karmic world, and we start to merge that. So I think we're going to start seeing also where they're healing that, but like, hey, where's this person's karma? I'm involved with this person, I'm allowing them into my life, and so where's this karma not really coming to great things? How is this harming me in some sort of way? There's also going to be a lot of tensions, I can think, not that I can think, that I know in the workplace we're going to feel that. We're going to feel a lot about things that are being oppressed, right? And it's going to be almost this explosion of like, hey, I'm feeling, oppressed in the workplace. I'm feeling this in the workplace. There is going to be, it's going to be a very dynamic energy. Sorry, I hope you guys are following me. Sometimes, I do the Gemini ramble and I feel like I'm not in my environment. My Virgo moon is like, okay, Gemini sun, you know how to do this and make moves no matter where you are. But the Virgo is like, wait, am I doing this correct? Because I'm not having my whole speaker set up. I don't know. It's just funny how we can get that way with our environment and certain things. So it's going to be tough. So then we have a T-square. Both are going to be squared Uranus. And so we have Mars square Uranus on July 3rd this week. So that is going to, Uranus is a planet of breakthroughs, of electric thinking, of electric feeling, of electric being. So there's going to be, again, a lot of shocking revelations, whether in our own mind, in our workplace, in our love place. There's going to be some revolution, some changing, and oftentimes when we're not making the moves that we're supposed to, when we're not doing the great change that we are supposed to, these planets or the universe, you could say, happen for us so we can evolve. So there's going to be, how do I say this? It's going to be maybe even some shocking arguments, some shocking finds, some people saying some things that you did not see coming. But what's wonderful is that we don't have to react to anything. We don't have to react to what anyone says, thinks, feels. So this is a good transit to really practice your reaction, because that is where the power is. If you want to know where these are two powerful planets, if you want to know where your power is, it's in your reaction. When you hear something about yourself, when someone says something to you that you don't like, when someone is behaving in a way that triggers you, what's your action, right? What is your action and what's your reaction? If it is none, if you don't react in a negative way, you're changing your karma, you're changing your DNA, you're changing the way you go about life. So remember that. I don't need to react to this situation. And I think that's going to be a lot of Mars opposite Saturn this week is don't react. Don't react and see how the power grows with you and how you perceive a situation, person, place, or thing so much differently, and how much peace comes from not reacting. So that's going to be a beautiful thing. And this is how we change our karma, how we change the way we go about life, is the more we practice something, the more we don't react, the easier it gets, right? And then the less and less that we attract maybe those more reactive situations, we attract them less and less because we're not reacting anymore. So that's going to be a really, really big thing. And even you might even find some surprising behaviors in yourself. You might just act out all of a sudden and say, whoa, where did that come from? I didn't know that was still in there. And then that's a new way to view yourself to help to evolve in some sort of way, So that is the way I would go with this. Don't react. Learn your reactions. This is here to teach our reactions. I was just down in Destin, Florida, which was very beautiful. I'd never been there. And I was discussing with a few people about astrology. And we're made of what? Correct me if I'm wrong. 78% of water, 77% of water. And to think, you see how the moon, how the planets, how it touches the ocean, the earth, it touches everything. And to think that does not affect us is kind of crazy, And I say to this, it affects us in the most beautiful ways, though it affects us. It's connected so we can grow and evolve as humans, as souls, as whatever it is. I'm over here literally doodling. I had to make some changes in my life. I've been really, really aware of where I'm unhealthy, where I'm spiritually unhealthy, where I'm soulful unhealthy. I'm going to talk about it when I get back next week on the Weekly Awakening podcast. But I've been really in touch with that. And so I've been trying to do some actions, do some things that make me a little more in touch with other stuff. But I don't know where I'm going. That was a whole thing about me doodling. Again, I feel like I'm all out of my environment. I'm being bit, I'm being sweaty, but I hope that you guys could follow along with that transit. Next week, I'll be back at the Weekly Awakening podcast with my episodes to talk about the week, but it's going to be good. At the end of this week, though, a week from now on the 6th, we have Mercury squared Neptune. So I'll have that next week on the episode. But with that, the transit so far, it's happened a few times in the last couple months. We had it before retrograde, it happened right before that. Really actually brought some amazing things, but sometimes it can be revealing of truth, of lies, of deception. But other times we can use that energy in growing and in changing and opening up our minds to other worlds in that sort of way. But whew, a couple more days, I'm having a blast on vacation. My kids are having fun. And that's the beautiful thing about being with cousins and family and going on vacation with my kids, is I just want to see them have fun. All while I'm healing some family karma here with me, my mom, and my sister. I can promise you that. You know how that goes, but we're growing, we're changing, we're shifting. And I think that really came up because we got into a little bit of a tiff, my family and I thought, wow, like these were all separately our own karmic pain from our family, and we all got together and we were reacting, almost similar to 20 years ago growing up, how we did. So that's coming up. But again, we have to see things, we have to see them to really see them, to change them and to evolve them. Thank you. I hope you guys have a beautiful day. Thank you for listening. Have a beautiful week. Just try to not react. That's the big thing. Do not react.